Well, while I'm sitting here listening to some country gospel memories that belongs to my wife and her mom from the old transmitter, I decided I'd sit here and go ahead and show you a little bit about what I did to the transformer so far. I've spliced all new wires on it, both sides, color-coded to what they're supposed to be, and then I used Q-dope. I sprayed it first with varnish. I sprayed it way down in there deep with varnish and let it run all the way down through into all the layers that I could. Let it dry, and then I put some Q-dope on it, which holds the wires in place. And now I'm going to go ahead and lather on some liquid tape and let that dry. And when I'm done, I'll probably take some large heat shrink and bundle the wires together and put a little piece of large heat shrink right about in this area here where the wires come out through the hole in the clamshell, which should be right there. So that's what's going on. Okay, I've got my first layer of liquid tape on that on those transformer wires, and that's what it's going to look like. And it looks pretty neat now. A lot of good insulation. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'll paint some on the other side. Just a matter of globbing it on with the brush inside this bottle. Just pretty simple, really. I'll do a couple strokes here and let you see what I'm talking about. Just glob it on. That's all it takes. Get it down in there. And it takes about 24 hours for this stuff to set up and dry, and it's pretty hard when it gets done. So I guess while I'm waiting, I'll just have to sit here and listen to the gospel music, which once again, you know, I'm very appreciative of Rick McWhorter putting that on the YouTube, so I could build one, and I could sit here and listen to music or old radio shows or whatever I want to listen to, big band music, and work on my stuff. But I got to do something about this bench. It is really cluttered up. I think next week I'll be taking my transmitter and mounting it up on the wall over here. I'm going to put up a shelf and put it between that area there and get this thing off my bench. I need the room. Well, here it is, folks. Finally finished. Got everything back in. The wires all been insulated and with heat shrink tubing and all that stuff. And I've stripped the end of these wires a little bit, just a tad. And I'm going to use my multimeter and check each wire to the case. I'm going to ohm it out to the outside shell of the transformer. If I get any continuity, I'll have to open it back up and maybe find out what the problem is. Yeah, sometimes you can't. But if everything goes well, I'll be able to stick her back in the radio and we'll see what happens. Okay, the transformer is back in the radio. And we're going to do a test fire up here. I wanted you all to witness the test fire, and if it smokes, you'll get an extra special treat to watch another. This time you get to watch it smoke. So here goes. I've got the Variac on. I'm going to be watching this amp meter and bringing up the voltage slow here. Let's turn this baby on. I don't know what I've got it on, either FM or AM. Let me see, FM is this way, AM is that way. I think, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Let's start bringing up that voltage and watching that current at the same time. Alright, we're up to 40 volts. Current draw is looking good. Less than 0.2 amps. I'm on the 1 amp scale over here, by the way. 60 volts. So far so good. We're still below 0.2 amps. 70. 80. Let's sit there for a second. Alright, not bad. 90. Let's see what's going on over here. Well, I'm in the FM position. The light's lighting up. Beginning to hear sound. 100 volts. We're still below 0.3 amps over here. We're doing real good. 110 volts. I stuck a power resistor in this thing, by the way, and I put a fuse also. The power resistor is 20 ohms, 25 watt to keep the voltage down a little bit. At 125 volts, it should be giving me about 117 with that power resistor in one side of that line. Okay, we're up to 120, and we're drawing about 0.4 amps. Let's see if we can get something tuned in here. Turn up the volume.
Hunger can happen to anyone, including you. Maybe it won't, but it's nice to know there's help if it does. Visit Arkansas.
By the way, you can see those numbers glow as they go by that arrow. Isn't that slick? Is that cool? I like that.
Country music. The fun-loving wolf is thinning the herd and playing another hour of all things country. 105.1, The Wolf.
Let's try AM here. Turn this light off here. It's causing all kinds of problems.
Button the Delta.
Well, so far so good.
Curious and affordable lodging.
And our amperage is still just below. Our current draw is just below 0.4. Now, you know, when you have FM radio and you switch to FM, you kick in another couple of tubes, and it causes an increase in the current flow. Let's see if we can show it on here. I don't know. I'll flip from AM to FM. Watch that current draw needle. See how it moves up? It moves up because those filaments come online. Or they're already online, it just engages them into the circuit. There we are, AM drops back down, FM goes back up. There's a little bit of a current draw extra there, so let's see what happens here with FM here. Now I've got I hooked an external antenna to the back of this thing with just some alligator clip wires. I had to do that before also. Well, that's it. Unless I have any further problems, I'll put this thing back together and see you on the flip side. And we're back where we started, at the corner on the deck. The radio's all together now. Probably the only thing I have to do is remove these knobs and maybe put some cream color paint on them and maybe a little clear coat. They were filled with grime and dirt, and I did a little stripping on them and everything. So next time I'm down at Walmart, I'll see if I can pick up a small can of cream color paint and see what I can do with that. But other than that, the old radio is playing fine. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's crank this baby up.
Equal opportunity employers.
Let's talk catering, Big Joe.
I love talking catering.
Anyway, that's the
We've got the
that's
best
the FM again.
That's
and,
right.
The AM.
That's between the first and second floors. So they're all...
People ask me often. I'd love to be.
It would be better if this radio had been made with a tone control. But I think it was one of the last remaining radios that Silvertone made that had a transformer, and it had a light, a couple of lights as a matter of fact. And it's kind of nice, you know, it's not a bad sounding little radio. It could have been better, I think, on the tone a little better. But it's working fine. The transformer's still getting a little bit warmer than I would like. That's the reason I took it out of the previous radio. But I can get a couple hours out of playing this thing before it gets to the temperature that I get a little, you know, nervous, and I'll go ahead and shut it down. So until next time. Until next time, from the corner on the deck, this is John.